It's not that hard, and I don't spend that much time doing it, and I'm going to share that with you today. Probably one of the most common questions that I get asked on this channel is people don't understand how I am able to shoot, edit, and post videos every single day. And honestly, it's not that hard, and I don't spend that much time doing it, and it's mostly because of the way that I have my camera system set up and the way I edit. This is like a little area where people put their trash cans, like a little residential area, and then there's this. It's probably for the construction, but what is this? That's a tour bus. That's a baseball stadium. There's another tour bus down there. If I had to guess, some like event, probably. You knew that, right? It's supposed to rain later today, so I'm walking around now mostly just because I know I won't be able to. Won't be able to later. That's why we're walking. And we literally just made a circle, right? Like pretty much it.
Yep.
Okay, literally as I finished talking to you on camera, it started sprinkling. So I'm back home now, and I'm gonna go over everything for you right now. So for the camera, I'm using a Sony a7S III, and I'm shooting an S-Log 3 10-bit. The color profile is going to be the S Cinetone. And then for audio, I'm just using the an onboard microphone that's connected via the hot shoe on the Sony camera, and that's shooting like 48K audio or whatever. And for the level for the audio, I just have it set to auto because it's pretty good on the camera. That's pretty much all of the settings that I have on the Sony camera. I'm going to edit the footage that you just saw right now, just for simplicity's sake. So typically, whenever I drop things into Premiere, I will edit, or I'll shoot them as much as I can. I'll shoot them in sequential order, meaning that the order that it was shot is going to be the order that's going to be drug in on the timeline. So typically what I'll do is, I've already drugged this stuff in, but if I'm starting from scratch, I'll just grab the first clip and go to the last clip and then just drag it all into the timeline just like that. And I'll drag things around and adjust things on the timeline, but I found that for me, that really helps speed up my editing process, and it just helps me get like a rough story right off the bat. And that comes with being strategic the way I shoot. Once that stuff's in there, obviously I have to convert it, because without the conversion it looks like this gray mush, and I'll do that by having two different adjustment layers. The first adjustment layer is going to be just on Lumetri Color. I have a conversion LUT to S-Log, and then the second adjustment layer is going to be like my look LUT, and that LUT is going to be set to 20%, and I also add a faded film look set to 20%. Notice that I'll have a space in between. That way, like if I have drone clips or something else that doesn't require or can't handle the S-Log 3 conversion LUT, then I'll just drag them there. That way, the S-Log conversion LUT won't affect it, but the look LUT will. Once I have the adjustment layers set, then I'll just lock them in place and just not touch them for the rest of the project. The next thing I'm going to do is adjust the audio. Now I actually have a preset, but it's literally just the voiceover preset on Premiere, and I just gained it up a little bit. So I'll drag that preset down to the first clip, and then I'll adjust it a little bit. Typically I'll do 12 dB because I'm recording or having things lower on the actual camera, and I'll just boost it in post. That's the nice thing about having 48K audio. I have the flexibility to do that. Once that's done, I'll copy that one clip, or I'll copy the attributes and then just paste them to the rest of the clips. Because I found if I have ambient audio, it helps create a more immersive video within, like when you're watching it. And then once I do that, that's where I'll start chopping things up. So like right here at the beginning of this clip, obviously I don't want that. I want probably somewhere right here, and I'll use hotkeys. So for those of you that don't know what hotkeys are, I'll use the Q and F key, and basically the Q key will cut everything to the left of the cursor, and the W key will cut everything to the right of the cursor. And I'll use that to kind of like cut and trim things. Doing that alone has saved so much time. That way I'm not having to like drag things around or ripple delete. That's really, really annoying. And that's honestly pretty much it. Typically what I'll do is I'll shoot scenes and then I'll edit those as the day progresses. That way I don't have a ton to edit in the evening. I'll like be working on it when I have time throughout the day. But in short, that's pretty much all I do. I try to keep it as simple and as streamlined as I can. That way I'm just not spending hours and hours and hours editing. I'm probably spending around 2.5 hours editing a day, which isn't bad. One thing that I will say that really helps, and is probably the biggest thing to help cut down your editing time, is to shoot things that you want to include. Don't include like a bunch of fat, and if you can help it, don't have like 10-minute clips where you're just going to use like 30 seconds of something. I really try to like keep the fat to a minimum. That way when I'm editing, I'm not having to like sift through all that. That takes the most time. Between doing that and then shooting like in sequential order the best that I can, that really helps like just speed up my time. If I'm shooting things all over the place and it's like I don't have an idea on how the order's going to be, figuring that out takes a long time to do. It's sometimes it just happens that way, but I try to prevent that if I can. Okay, that's pretty much it. If you have any more questions about editing or anything else that I missed, let me know